So you didn't think I was gonna get you with the water bottle right up front, did you? Seriously though, guys, I know it's going into winter time, but you can still dehydrate in the winter. So you may not want to carry around the big bottle, but we do have the small ones out now. Ton of different colors, ton of different patterns. It's got everything you want in a water bottle. You got your cell phone pocket, grab handle, another grab handle, shot cord to keep the bottle in there, key hanger. You really just can't think of something else you would need a water bottle, even if you want to throw some Molly stuff on there. So if you need one, check out ironinfidel.com. And if you don't know, I am Mike, and I am now part of the Iron Infidel team, other than my normal channel over at Tactical Consideration. So today, we are going to talk about 3 of my absolute favorite drills to make you a better pistol shooter. Now, something I have to address right off the bat, though, is none of these are default kinetic response drills, right? These are training drills to help you work on things like trigger control, cadence, reacquisition of your sight or your dot, speed, all of the good things that you're looking for when you want to become more proficient. But in no means are these just a default. So if you're a competitive shooter or you carry a gun for a living, this is not something you're going to want to fall back to. You always address your target as how you're told to do so in a competition or as needed out there in the real world. And then of course later we will go over what this pistol right here is, everything that's done to it, because I consider that thing one of the most complete duty rigs out there, and I'll take any advantage I can. So the first drill we're going to talk about today is the build drill. Now if you're not familiar with the build drill, you're basically going to be online. You can do it from 3 yards, 5 yards, 25 yards, that's completely up to you. But we're looking for a combination of speed and accuracy. So whether you have a shot timer, a buddy, a stopwatch, whatever you want to do, what you're going to do is draw from whatever holster it is. You can use a duty rig, you can use concealed carry, draw, fire 6 rounds, and we are looking for all A-zone hits here. Now you can work into speed, but once we think about this drill, what are we accomplishing here? 1, the react to the stimulus. That's your shot timer, your buddy yelling go, whatever it is, or your mind to say draw pistol, engage target, right? That's the first thing. The next thing we're going to be working on building that good grip is our placement, is our body moving, all of these things. Marrying the support hand, right? Getting that good master grip, support hand, and of course, eventually pressing out, aligning our sights or our dot onto that target, trigger control, trigger cadence, and of course, not flinching, our pre-ignition push, all of these different things that can kind of creep up on us, especially when we start shooting in strings of more than like 1 or 2 rounds. It's also going to train you a little bit on keeping your grip solid, because if you think about it, you're out there 1, 2, 3, 4, and then people kind of start to fall apart. Maybe the support hand actually forgets it's there. Maybe you start losing strength on that primary hand because you're focusing on target, dot, sight, all of these things. You're starting to see those impacts on target. So things like your grip start to break down. That is really what this build drill is going to encompass, because you're firing 6 rounds. You can do it moving, you can do it standing. It's really up to you. You can go just as wild as you want as far as your timing, how many rounds you want to practice with that day. And then of course your distances is going to make a big difference on your cadence of fire as well. All right, next up is the Baer Standards drill. This is one of my absolute favorite drills because it builds on the build drill, but it encompasses so much. And again, you can do these shot timer, concealed carry, duty belt, moving, whatever. Distance is completely up to you. This drill really does lock down a lot of things that you need to have to become more proficient with your pistol out there, whether you're a competitive shooter, tactical guy, want to do some training, carry a gun for a living, all of these things. This drill is very simple. 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper on sideways, 4x6 box, 4x6 box, and a 3-inch circle in the middle. These targets are free at Baer Solutions. You can print them out or you can just draw them like I did, because I don't need them to be perfect, right? We're looking for speed and accuracy here. The overall drill is pretty simple. When your shot timer goes off, you're going to draw, do 5 rounds on the left box, 5 rounds on the right box, empty gun reload, and then 3 more rounds in that 3-inch circle. You can go from left to right, right to left, completely up to you. You can do this with a rifle even, it doesn't really matter. But think about how many things are coming into play here. You're going to have the draw, the master grip, trigger control, cadence, target transition, reload, re-engage target, there's just so much going on here that you can really start to see at one point in this drill where you start to fall apart. Is it my grip? Is it my target ID? I'm not keeping the dot or the sight there. Is it my reload? And that's where you kind of need to figure out yourself, be honest with yourself, and work on those small pieces so you can be more proficient overall. Now, when it comes to times and all that stuff, I don't per se want you to try and beat the clock. I don't want you to try and go for a trophy out there. What I really want you to do is get a good time, but be proficient in your accuracy, because if you break a line, you can count it, but you want everything all in. So if you can do this in 8 seconds or less, it's actually pretty good. Think about that. Drawing from a retention holster or concealment, and you're gonna go 5-5, empty gun reload in 3, 8 seconds or less, that's not bad at all. Now, when you become very proficient, you can begin to try and speed that up. But generally with speed, you're gonna start to see little mistakes that fall apart. When you start to see those little mistakes, maybe you miss the draw, maybe you don't hit the reload, that's when you back off maybe 5-10% on that speed, go again, and you'll kind of know your limit. And the final drill that we ran out here today is the 2-2-4-2-2, or more commonly known as the Travis Haley drill. Again, this is another building block that works just a lot of stuff. Everything from that first draw presentation, trigger control, trigger cadence, reset speed, transition speed, and all of these things kind of come together, especially when you're having to go one direction and then back to the other, because a lot of times you can overdrive a pistol, right? So if you think about transitioning from one target to the next, is as you're breaking that shot, that bullet's already gone. So as that shot breaks, you just rip to the next target. And that's something that I learned a long time ago listening to Tony Cowden. If you don't know who Tony Cowden is, he's a really awesome guy who's done a lot of really awesome, cool things out there, and he definitely knows how to shoot under the most stressful situations. But this, again, is a drill that is a building block and will help you not only move to the next level in competition, but just be so much more proficient out there on the range, training with your buddies, having fun. And of course, my law enforcement, military, security type guys, you should be running these drills all the time to be at maximum proficiency, because you just never know when it's gonna come time to put your skills to use out in the real world. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the gear, because I know some of you have just been dying to know exactly what this pistol is. So this is a Gen 5 Glock 45, if you don't know what that is. Full-size grip, short slide, 19X kind of thing, 19 length slide, full-size Glock 17 length grip. Now this is a combination, a mixture of parts that I've tested over on my other channel at Tactical Considerations, and this just seems to be the most efficient use of skills and parts and everything out there combined into one. So obviously the Glock, one of the most durable, reliable pistols, proven around the world time and time again. We have an SLR mag well that's going to help you get magazine exchanges done even if you're a little bit off. One of my favorites, although you can't use the back straps with this mag well. I love it for a lot of different reasons. Up on top, Trijicon RMR, again, worldwide proven. It's been in wars all around the world, in use by law enforcement, security, and just great people out there every single day. By the thousands. Have the new Radian Defender up here, which kind of keeps a sight in the front instead of the rear of the optic. There's a little post that fills it in, and then also going to guard that optic should you have to do one-handed manipulations, you know, something like that. Very good stuff. Radian makes awesome stuff. Again, Radian barrel with their proprietary compensator, not a threaded barrel. Very cool how this fits on there. It's a triangular port, and you've got one set screw on the side, no Loctite, good to go. Overwatch precision trigger in there, my personal favorite. Factory Glock minus connector, that's usually what you can get away with in a PD. Trigger's optional. Overwatch I know is approved by multiple law enforcement agencies and some federal agencies out there. And then the Streamlight TLR1 HL. For me, that is just the best bang for the buck light out there. I've used them for over 15 years in law enforcement, and they are just good stuff. As far as the gun belts and all that stuff goes, that's totally up to you guys, but I'm rocking a blue Alpha Gear belt with HSGI poly tacos and just a Blackhawk Omnivore holster for training. That's not a duty holster. And then I've got a med kit in the back of me, and that is going to be by Live the Creed. And I've got, obviously, you know, an AR mag on there and a Maxpedition dump pouch. So just a decent overall set of gear. Not everybody's going to need this, but should you be interested in what I was wearing out here for the video, that is going to be it. All right, so let's wrap it up out here for today. So we did 3 of my favorite drills: Bill drill, Baer Standards, Haley drill, 22422, whatever you want to call it. All these things are going to help you be more proficient, more accurate, and just faster overall with your pistol, as long as you actually put them to use. Try recording yourself. Recording yourself and watching yourself is going to show you where some of those deficiencies are. Let me know what you think about these drills, and if you've gone out and run them, what your times were and what your accuracy was, because there's a golden zone of accuracy and speed in there, right? Make sure you check out ironinfidel.com and the battle bottles. Remember, you got the big ones, the small ones, tons of colors, lots of options. It's everything you could want in a water bottle. Let me know down below what you think about these drills in this video, and of course let me know what you want to see next, and ensure that you subscribe to the channel, because that way this video will get pushed to other people, maybe who could use a little bit of help in that proficiency on the range, or people that have never been exposed to Second Amendment content, which just helps our message overall. Keep doing it on the range, and I'll see you on the next one.